Hello viewers, welcome to our program on Immigration and You. I am your immigration attorney Michael Fulwani, and once again we have with us attorney David Nachman, my partner. David, welcome.
Thanks so much, Michael. Always a pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you. Now, I believe that there was a meeting of an ombudsman in Washington, D.C.
That's right.
recently, and then you want to give some information about what happened in that meeting.
That's right, Michael. And actually, several of our programs have gone by, and we wanted to raise this, but it seems like there's always something new going on that we want to chat about. But I wanted to just let everyone know, all of our viewers, people who have been striving for H's and L's, what's
Can I
going
interrupt
on
you for a second? Just want to remind them that Ombudsman Office was created during President Bush's period. And the first ombudsman was Mr. Prakash Khatri.
That's right.
Who was there for several years, but then with the change of administration he left. But he did a wonderful job, excellent job. He went around the country meeting the district directors, meeting the Secretary of the State and all that.
That's right.
So,
and I think you need to mention also that he's a personal friend of yours, Michael, who has been tremendously helpful.
And he's Gujarati, from Gujarat,
okay,
and a very nice guy and very friendly guy. Now,
in
this place, now you have a new ombudsman.
Right,
the new ombudsman?
Right, the new ombudsman's name is Maria Odom. Yeah. So Maria Odom is the new ombudsman, and she held a meeting in May in Washington, D.C., and she discussed specifically RFEs and H-1Bs and Ls, and I had some interesting statistics that I'd like to share with our viewing audience. So first of all, the RFEs that were issued for H-1Bs are between 25 and 28%. And we get the calls all the time from our clients.
What is RFE? Let's explain
RFE. Okay, I'm sorry. RFE is a request for evidence. Yeah. And what it is that it's a form that comes back after a case has been submitted where the government has some request for additional information. RFE, request for evidence. Now, oftentimes these are very frustrating documents because they request information that we've already included in the document that we submit. So, the RFE itself can sometimes be a very frustrating document. So after the RFE response is submitted, then 94% of the H-1Bs do get approved. So that was some of the statistics that she provided. With regard to L-1Bs that were filed at the Vermont Service Center, 41% of those L-1Bs, and L-1Bs are intercompany transfer visas for individuals with specialized knowledge. 41% were receiving RFEs. From the California Service Center, it's even higher. 52% RFEs were issued. And so, however, there's an overall acceptance rate of the L-1Bs of 67%. So, in addition, at that meeting in May, what she had mentioned is that they are working on an L-1B memo that will further hopefully define what is considered to be specialized knowledge. One of the things that we are grappling with on a daily basis is responding to RFEs by properly explaining to the USCIS what we consider to be specialized knowledge. So that's a term of the art. But this memorandum, which has been around and it's being kicked around internally since 2012, hopefully will come to light. So we're just waiting on that. But Michael, I think that the reason why the Ombudsman's Office and this discussion is important is because I think what I'd like to do is chat with you a little bit, because we get these calls all the time from our clients about, well, my case is stuck, how do I get it moving? And I'm going to throw out a couple of things. I just jotted down a couple of notes of ways in which you can move your cases along. And I'm interested to hear what you have to say about them.
Well, first of all, Ombudsman is not a boss of the immigration people. In other words, he doesn't have the authority. She doesn't have the authority to tell the immigration office that you have to do this or you have to approve that case.
That's right.
Basically, it is Ombudsman basically is representing the public. In other words, he is there so that the public has any questions, and that includes the attorneys for the public or the applicants, to bring to their attention certain problems. Issues.
Right.
And then, of course, not every matter is referred to the immigration. Because if he understands or she understands, Ombudsman, that this is the correct position that USCIS has taken. They'll just explain that person who's complaining and that, no, this is the right way, this is the law, that is what happened.
Right.
There's no basis for the ombudsman to go to the government.
That's right.
But then there are issues. They are seeing somewhere that the person's case has been delayed a long period of time than it should be,
Right.
or that the information they are asking or the reasons that they are denying or things happen are not in accordance with the law.
Exactly.
Then they can go to the concerned authority and to tell them, listen, review this case again. We believe that there's an error or this requires an expediting thing.
Exactly.
And that's how it works.
Exactly.
And in some cases it does help actually.
Right. So how do our viewers get to the Ombudsman's office? One of the ways that you can get to the Ombudsman's office, of course, is to go online, look for the Ombudsman's website, and send a letter.
Correct.
But the Ombudsman's office actually now is electronic. So what you could do is you can go online, and there's an electronic form that you can fill out, and you can send it to the Ombudsman, and they will, of course, receive that documentation, receive the information, and they will determine whether or not this is an issue that they want to make part of their agenda. And then what they will do is, as Michael had properly pointed out, follow up with the appropriate administrative agency within the government administratively in the immigration area to try to move the case along.
And if they have the lawyer, an attorney can also submit a request to
Correct.
Ombudsman on behalf of the client.
Absolutely, and we've used the
All
Ombudsman
the
on
time.
several occasions.
All the time.
But we usually check first to see that the issue that's being raised by either our client or the person who's approaching our firm is in fact on the track of the Ombudsman's office and something that they're going to take up, because it doesn't make sense to go down that pathway if the Ombudsman's not going to do anything.
See, in most instances, we know the problem, we know the case, we know the issue, and we present that to the Ombudsman in legal terms and in the particular sections.
Exactly.
And so it is for them, it's just 5 minutes to understand what we are saying and what needs to be done. A layman is angry, upset person because his case has not been approved yet, or he thinks that they are doing a wrong thing. So sometimes they write a whole story of 2-3 pages, which really may not have much relevance to the case. And that wastes a lot of time of the Ombudsman office.
Exactly.
Plus they don't think that this is the right matter for us to get involved or interfere.
Exactly.
So
So focusing on the issue is super important.
Exactly.
So what I'm going to do, Michael, because I know that you have a subject that you'd like to take up that we were talking about before, but I'm just going to go through and list out the various ways in
Sure.
which the viewers can get help on cases that may be stuck or may have been improperly denied, but basically what these are how can you get assistance with immigration issues. So number one, I have, of course, the Ombudsman's office.
Yes.
Number two is what's called AILA Liaison. And AILA Liaison is something that your lawyer can assist you with. And then of course that is the other one, is a lawyer. If you get a lawyer hopefully will be able to direct you. So a lawyer who is competent in the immigration arena would be able to direct you to the various ways in which you can get assistance, which might include the Ombudsman's office, or might include, for example, engaging AILA Liaison, because we are members of the American Immigration Lawyers Association, which is a national association of immigration lawyers, and we have committees that interface directly with the government administrative agencies, and they're able to take the issues directly to the powers that be to get the responses. So there are various committees set up who go through the documents that are submitted, and they take them to the administrative agencies.
Question.
Yes.
Can a person do all? Go to Ombudsman, go to the liaison,
Absolutely.
and go to the Congress,
Absolutely.
Senator also.
Absolutely. In fact,
But then liaison people say, they ask, have you ever?
brought it right?
Yeah,
but here's right, and they say, well, have you ever taken it directly to the government office, or have you taken it to a senator's office?
Yes.
Because then they don't want to interface that
Correct.
way.
So they want to see what happened there, and
exactly.
then make a decision whether they will also, because they don't
So
want
again,
multiple.
right, that's exactly right.
Multiple, all the 3 things, and then everybody talking about the same thing.
Correct,
A lot of
correct. And maybe I misunderstood your question when I said yes, absolutely. But what we would do as lawyers, for example, if
course.
we were engaged to assist a client,
Yeah.
is what we would do is let them know, First, you go to the ombudsman's office. If you don't get a result, then you go to the senator's office. If you don't get a result, you go to the next office. So there are different ways in which you can get the results, but you have to be reasoned about how you do it because, again, like Michael says, you don't want to cut off your opportunities. We mentioned already going to the congressman and senator, and of course, one of the first things that we always do is we go directly to the consulate or directly to the USCIS and try to speak to the officers or the administrators to try to get answers. So these are some of the ways in which you can get movement on your cases. Obviously, if you come to a lawyer, a skilled attorney, they're going to be able to explain to you how to best orchestrate, follow up, and best deal with issues that might be log jammed at the government. So,
this
Michael.
topic that may take a long time, but briefly I just want to talk about children left behind. And that happens a lot of times when, let us say, a U.S. citizen brother files a petition for a brother or sister in the family fourth preference category, which takes several years. And the children that were under 18 or 21 when it was filed are now over 21 when the visa number becomes available. And why am I saying that? Like this, let me go back. Once upon a time, before the CSPA law was passed, a child crosses one day, it becomes 21 years and one day upon arrival, not only issuance of the visa, that child was not eligible. With that, a lot of the lobbying was done and representations were made that immigration take 2 to 3 years to approve, and that is one of the reasons that is happening. So they said, okay, we made a law, new law called Child Status Protection Act, CSPA, under which they say, okay, what we'll do, we'll give you that extra time. Immigration took 3 years to approve the petition. Then we have to first wait until the visa number becomes available. When the visa number becomes available, we have to see the age of the child at that time. We cannot make the calculation before that. So let us say the child is now 23 years old, and immigration took 3 years to approve the petition. You minus 3 years from 23, it becomes 20. Child goes back under 21.
Exactly.
And the child can get the visa together with the parents. That is the CSPA. There's additional 45 days. In addition to that, there's another 45 days coming from the Patriot Act, but only those petitions that were filed before 9/11. So there's other little relief. I had a couple of cases where those 45 days helped.
Make a difference.
Make
Exactly.
a difference.
Yeah.
Okay, now
Every little bit.
let's talk about that. All that CSPA also is not in a particular case. We cannot help the child because it doesn't fall within the CSPA. So the other option is the parent comes here. Parents are coming. There's no problem with the parents coming. They leave the child behind. That's why we say child left behind. Parents come in on a green card. Parents file a I-130 petition for the child. Problem is that when they do that, the immigration is giving them a new date, not the old 94 or a 90 date that the parent had. So new date, according to the waiting time is about 8 or 10 years. That's not fair. So this whole court case is going on. We are asking that the law CSP also should benefit.
It's a case pending before the U.S. Supreme Court
right.
as we
But there were a
speak.
number of court cases, federal cases, different states, different decisions.
Right.
So now this case is before the Supreme Court. The latest information I have is the Supreme Court can any day in the next few weeks, hopefully, make the decision. And I personally have gone through the whole case, and my study and analysis says most likely the Supreme Court may give the decision in favor of the children. If that happens, you and me are both going to go to a lot of old files and consultations and call our clients. The Supreme Court has decided, come in here and we will help you on that.
Exactly.
So we pray God, hopefully that will happen.
Exactly.
Of course, I mean, if nothing happens, even all that put on the side for a minute, and I'm asking a question, quick one. What are the other options? The child is left behind. No. CSP is not there, because Supreme Court has not decided, or whatever else has not helping.
Well, of course, the analysis is, is the individual outside the United States or the inside the United States?
Outside.
If they're outside the United States, we have to find a non-immigrant visa to bring them in. Yeah. long-term non-immigrant visa.
Which will be like an H-1 visa,
H,
L-1 visa,
L,
or an investment visa for green
Some
card,
other type of, yeah, exactly.
Well, it's a subject we can talk a little more about it, but again, we are running out of time. So we thank you very much for coming on the
Thanks so much,
program. And
Michael.
thank all of you for watching the program. We'll try to bring most latest information every week from time to time. Please keep watching us on ITV every Saturday and Sunday.
Thanks so much.
Only on ITV and Vision of Asia, and thank you very much.
Bye now.